Okay, how did the session, the discussion that you had in groups work? How was it? Great. Did you learn from the mentors? Yeah, nice. That's why they're here for, huh? Okay, who's going to be first presenting the goal? Okay, wow. The first time someone volunteers to be the first.
Should I just speak with my thing here?
Yeah, please.
I'll be quick. I don't plan on being up here very long.
Guys,
I'm gonna be up.
come on. We're already going to start presenting the first goal and the objective.
Okay, can go.
Yeah,
Okay,
please.
so basically our group wanted to create awareness around diabetes burnout. We came up with the name Diamind over there. Basically, our objective is to use social media campaigns through storytelling videos, and our SMART goals would be to promote adverts and hopefully reach 20,000 people by the end of 2023. We would need content creation, people living with diabetes to share their stories, video editors, a videographer to actually capture the stories. We were talking about hopefully getting funding for this project, but if not, finding people in the community that actually have all of these skill sets, which would be great. Then our timeline, basically it's a year timeline, which is pretty easy. So we'd start with by creating a team, we'd contact human resources, kind of set up a plan and proposal to give to funders, which would be great if we could get funding. And then we would go around the content creation, filming the people's stories, filming, editing, posting online, and then we would look at our, what is that word? Monitor and evaluate by looking at the reach on social media and evaluating the results on the paid media.
That's great. You covered all the steps. Nice. Okay, it was specific. It was measurable. It was time bound because they said by when. And they have a contingency plan. So if they do not have funds, they know already what to do. Ale, who's next? Go ahead.
So before I start, in programming we have this saying, if the code works, don't touch it. So if the idea works, we're going with it. Again. So we came up with the same idea as yesterday, except it's a bit more expanded. We called it the Blue Caters. It's basically the Blue Educators. So as I spoke yesterday, I don't know if you remember, we have an approach towards addressing the multi-levels in a community. So we would first start with endocrinologists about teaching them, language matters, how to talk to the people living with diabetes, and how to look up for the signs that they are struggling psychologically or mentally, and a list of people that they would refer them to in their own regions in case they saw these signs. Because sometimes we, as people living with diabetes, don't notice them on ourselves. So this is the first step and the second one. So what's the objective? Basically, we're increasing diabetes education on 3 main levels. We're working on endocrinologists, teachers, and families in a variety of different activities. So how are we going to do this? For families, we're going to work on the same Blue Santa idea that we went with last time, except we broke it down a bit more into steps about how exactly we're going to do that. And then for teachers, we're going to go with the kids program. We're going to use it because it's available. And then we're going to, after benefiting from that, we're going to go to endocation campaigns, and that's educating endocrinologists. So about the timeline, we set up an entire year of what we're going to do and how we're going to do it. We're going to start in February. We're going to use what we already have available, which is the kids program, to start with teachers. Now that we have a good base and we've started with that, we've covered the schools and the teachers, we're actually also going to give the teachers, because it's February and it's Valentine's, we're going to give them blue hearts. We also thought of that. The second thing we're going to do is March to May. We're actually going to take our time to prepare the leaflets we're going to give endocrinologists, because we need to make sure we cover all the areas on the list of psychologists there. And then to June, August, we're going to have the endo visits. We're going to have a team of volunteers, which are people living with diabetes themselves. And they can be psychologists who are also living with diabetes. So that would give us more credibility. give the endo sessions. And then after that, September to November, we're going to do the preparations, logistics, funding, everything for the Blue Santa event. And we do know that November is going to be a very busy month. That's why we gave it September to November. And last but not least, December, we're going to apply the Blue Santa events to target the families. We didn't do it this December because we know we won't have time. So this is next year's plan. Lastly, the risks that we might have. Another pandemic, please no. I've been doing that. We would turn these sessions with the schools and endocrinologists to online, and lack of cooperation from the people like endocrinologists. And by doing, to address that issue, we would change our strategy. Make it wider, make it more personal, call, visit. No is the invitation for the next appointment. That's what Mr. Bruce said last time. And then we're done. We need a dedicated team and sponsors.
Nice. And how did you say Bluecators, no?
Bluecators, yeah.
You said it just once, and I remember about it. That's something very important also. You need to think of catchy things so people remember about that.
Yeah.
So it may not be a word, but please try to have a cool name for your project.
Thank you.
Good job, guys. Okay, who's next? I'm seeing a lot of people not wearing masks, by the way. Oh.
Only until after the presentations.
There we go.
Hello, everyone. I will start with my presentation with a question. All right. Who of you all are on Tinder in this room? Tinder. Who of you all are on Tinder in this room? By show of hands, who of you are on Tinder? All right. Okay. I personally am on Tinder. All right. Our topic is psychological support for T1s and type 1s and even the community through diamids and buddies. So our idea is that you're going to develop an application where you can meet your buddy, and by meeting a buddy, you have a diamid, all right? So from a diamid, that's when you get to have a community whereby you can share your condition. Therefore, you have someone you can share with what you're going through. And then in terms of our goal is to improve the quality of life by mental health and psychological support. I'll let my colleague go through the activities.
So basically what we're going to do is we're going to build an application, right? We already have a prototype of that application in Tunisia. Thanks for sharing, by the way. So we have a prototype. I don't know if you guys have been on, if not Tinder, maybe Pokemon Go? Norbs? Yeah? So you kind of match with people, who are diabetic. So we thought, you'd match with them, and then they'd become your diab buddies, right? They kind of help you out whenever you kind of need someone to talk to, a place to vent. And then what we're going to market is going to be the Dia Meets, okay? And the Dia Meets is going to be a place where the Dia buddies go together to the Dia Meets. And then it's like a huge group. And we wanted to focus on community building. We thought like a huge psychological factor for this is, a sense of belonging. And so that's, I think, what we're going to do. And during the Dia Meets, obviously, we'll have conversations. We're going to probably have sessions. Maybe some will bring a psychologist who specializes in diabetes and diabetes education. So that can give us a push in terms of kind of securing a psychological base for the community. Other than that, assessing risks. Obviously, applying the prototype might be quite difficult and maybe quite ambitious as well. It's just reaching out to the people, like especially in my community, where I come from, we don't have a specific database for diabetics, that links us together. So that's going to be a difficulty there. Other than that, the project timeline is going to take around 2 years, and we wanted to secure around 100 and 150 participants by the end of the 2 years. And the way we're going to evaluate this is through pre and post surveys, okay? So we're going to test self-management behaviors before they come in and after they come in, hoping that those levels would hopefully increase. And we called our project...
Do diabetes alone. That's our project.
Sorry, I didn't know we were going to say it together.
Don't do diabetes alone.
Yeah,
that's our goal.
Don't do diabetes alone.
Thank you, guys. Evaluation, very important. If your measurement of success depends on what people think of your project, on how their knowledge has evolved. You need to ask them before and you need to ask them after, okay? By the way, we're missing one microphone. Can you please check if it's anywhere over there? Okay, just check it out and let me know. Who's next? Okay, only 3 groups have presented. No one else wants to present? Okay. Tino, I didn't see you, sorry.
Okay, so maybe we start with our name, which is DS Kuz. Said, I hope everyone is doing well and my voice is audible. I mean, I have a mic, right? So yeah, it says. Right, so our topic to start with, providing education in secondary schools. That's our focus. That's what we said we want to do. And so what is the goal? Why do we want to do this? Our goal is to creating good quality support systems in schools, secondary schools. So, and our objectives on how we are going to achieve our goal is by enrolling a number of students by the first year. And I mean, of course, our project has a timeline of 2 years only. So that's how we are going to do it, and how the activities, the things that we are going to do in achieving our goals are to distribute knowledge, surveys about diabetes, and people would say what they really know. They would have to tell us what they know about diabetes, and then we would try to address this. Okay, fine. If they only know about this, then because we have our resource systems like kids, like for the IDF has the kids resource system. We also have the ESPAD guidelines. We would have to use those because, I mean, those are some of the resources that people might not have access to because you'd have to be a member for you to access them. So those are the things that we'll be using. And our timeline, we said it's going to be in 2 years' time. So we start with the preparation, the planning stages, distribution of surveys, and then we do the evaluation and the implementation of what we want to do with the people and how we want to help them. And by measuring, also, we also have to measure our success by doing the surveys to say, okay, fine, what have you achieved? Are people now, do they know the things that they should know? I mean, when we had to send them a survey report first, they tell us what they know, what they don't, and then after our activities, we also have to do that assessment to say, okay, fine, now what do they know about, I mean, after the things that we did, to see if we have been impactful enough. If we need to do more, then we have to see that. And so this is all the things that we would have to report back to the IDF if they need it. And our risk this is our last point. The risk is that maybe we may have lack of interest from the people that we are talking to. I mean, yes, we know, like college students, if you say diabetes, they might not even know. So people might not be interested because they don't have diabetes themselves. So yeah, I mean, that could be a wrong target. And we hope it will not be a wrong target and people will be interested in whatever that is we're going to be talking about. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Tino. Good one. Just one question. You said that you are going to reach out to a number of people. Do you have a number?
A number? Yeah, we do. X number. Like.
Okay, yeah. Okay, good. Remember that you will have to choose that number. Who's next? We have how many groups left? 3. Okay, be fast, guys.
I'm going to take this. Okay, so our topic is around awareness and education, and it's going to be education to the public on diabetes through art. So our objective, because it's going to be an in-person gallery, obviously, well, from where I'm from, we're quite regional and rural. So we've sort of gone with 100, but hoping to anticipate more. It'll be, things like they'll know the difference between type 1 and type 2 and what's actually involved in living with our condition. And they'll be more aware of diabetes technologies when they see them around. Also things like if someone's having a hypo, know what to do, because obviously the different artwork will sort of portray each of those. So timeline-wise, got to secure a venue. We've got to write a sponsorship proposal and actively start securing funding. contacting the artists in the diabetes online community. Obviously, they'd have a description of their work and be sending a digital file of their art. Starting printing, framing, and actually planning out the floor space of the gallery, promotion, like designing all the promotions and doing online campaigns to promote it, catering, preparing the pre and post-event surveys on the event night. So what we'd anticipate is have a pre-event survey, actually knowing their understanding on what diabetes is at that point in time, and then when they leave the gallery, have they enhanced their education. Then I would organise a silent auction for the night. If no one knows what that is, it's not obviously somewhat an auctioneer up top. They just basically write down what they'd be willing to pay for it. The highest bidder gets it at the end, and that would go to a charity, diabetes charity. And then lastly, we'd have to organise media releases and alerts. The event would actually be during National Diabetes Week, so hopefully be more favourable to the media to obviously cover it. So risks involved, if another pandemic hits, there's going to be no event. But hopefully, once you have your venue locked in, I think that's really the main thing. Artists, I think, would be more than happy to put their work forward, so not too many risks, I don't think, involved. Monitoring and evaluating how many people obviously attended the event. We would have an Eventbrite, a registration, so it'd be good to see how many actually registered versus how many actually attended on the night. Social media campaign insights, obviously seeing the actual engagement within each of those posts. And yeah, that's it.
Thank you. Okay, very important. Choose the right moment, actually. So you are saying media is going to pay more attention to you during World Diabetes Day, and you're right. So choose the right moment to receive more attention. It doesn't have to be World Diabetes Day. It can be Diabetes Awareness Month. It can be during November. Depends on your activity. Who's next? Bien.
I'm actually very, very nervous, okay? We got our ideas from all of our group members. So first our target will be raising awareness and education. And our target audience will be kids and just general adults and teenagers. Then the goal of
The goal of our projects is to raise awareness of, for example, in my project, is raising awareness of retinopathy diabetic among diabetic Middle East between Moroccan people and for Maldives community. So the third step, we will begin for treating our project. We will begin with a survey or cross-sectional study that will contain several questions. For example, the first section includes a personal question like age, type of diabetes, lifestyle, and the second.
It's easier for us to measure once if we have reached our goal or anything. Right? And then we will contact with the institutions, make YouTube videos, and conduct meetings.
That's why. And based on the survey, we will make videos or the courses, online courses, or on-site courses to make people be aware of this disease and the complication that may be affected with, like microvascular disease, like retinopathy, food diabetic, and etc.
And for the risks, we thought there would be communication. There will be lack of communication between schools or with us among our team, and communication among patients too. And if we reach to a school, they might say, we don't have time for this or something like that. And from where I come from is just an island, a bunch of islands. So it will be how do I say it? It will be a challenge for us to travel from one island to another island just to reach all the kids and people living there. And maybe we might not get an answer from the schools.
It may be for the online survey. Maybe the older person who can't read or write doesn't access to this survey. So we can print this survey to share with them.
So in implementation part, we will approach the foundations members for their help. And then we will reach to schools and
To educate them.
so in this last one is monitor and evaluation. So if we make a YouTube video, we can easily find how many people have reached us and how many people have shared our videos. So it will be easier for us to monitor it. And for schools, we can reach one school every 3 months. And if not, we can make a plan B or reach 100 people in general public. And then we will measure our outcomes and ask for our foundations and for help, for evaluation.
Good. Good job, guys. I really like what you said at the beginning, that you have been taking ideas from the whole group. That's what you need to do. Last one? Okay, good. So, yeah. Okay.
I will do it like this. Hello? Well, let's do it quick because we are all hungry. So, first we select the topic, that is nutrition education. Nutrition education. And we base it on Uruguay because it's where I'm well. So, then we go to the second step that we said that I'm trying to improvise because I don't understand the letter. Our goal was to improve nutritional knowledge among people living with type 1 diabetes. And then we have the three specific objectives. The first one is to create videos every 2 months. And we put like the goal of getting 2K viewers, 2K, 2,000 viewers, to see if we reach the amount of people that we expect to, or the video is not being successful for us. Then the second one is doing workshops every 5 months. Every 2 months, 5 workshops during all Uruguay. We have 19 cities, so the idea is to, in that 5 months, reach all Uruguay. And at the same time, after the workshops that are going to be like about nutrition and count carving, we are going to do some games, so people can play and see if the workshop really makes, it really works, or people just went there and doesn't learn anything. So that's the evaluation form too. If the video have not enough views, we're gonna try to find other way to do it. In the workshops, if people doesn't attend, that's a thing about Uruguay that a lot of people is always criticizing that we don't have much congress and that stuff, but when they are, people doesn't go. So we're gonna try to make them go. Well, that's all.
Okay, 5 workshops in every 2 months?
No. We're gonna do every 2 months, 1 workshop.
Ah,
There you
okay,
go.
okay. Okay, I was going to ask you if that's realistic.
It sounded
but,
better
yeah.
in my head.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank
Good
you.
job, guys.